This tutorial is for 3rd grade, Module 5, Lesson 11. In this lesson, we're going to continue comparing unit fractions. The directions say label the unit fraction, and then in each blank, draw and label the same whole with a shaded unit fraction that makes the sentence true. The sample has been done for us. We started with 1/4. They drew a circle, divided it into 4 pieces, and shaded in 1/4. The sentence is less than, so I would read this problem as 1/4 is less than 1/2. And we've taken the same whole, divided it into 2 pieces, and shaded in 1/2. The key here is that the pieces that you're comparing must start with the same whole, and that when we read the statements from left to right, they make sense. So let's look at the next question. Here I have a square. It's been divided into 3 pieces, and 1 piece has been shaded, so that shows me 1/3. I need to draw another whole and make my sentence true by saying 1/3 is greater than whatever fraction I choose to shade. So I have to start off with the same whole. So if they start with a square, I need to start with a square. I know that my 1/3 piece needs to be greater than the piece that I shade in. Well, in previous lessons, we discussed the fact that the greater your denominator, the smaller the piece. So I have some options here. I could make this 1/4 or 1/5 or 1/6. There's lots of different options. I'm going to draw 6 in my model here. I'm going to start by dividing it into thirds, as in the original picture, but then I'm going to cut those in half. Now I have 6 pieces. I'll shade in one of those, and now my sentence makes sense. 1/3 is greater than 1/6. In question number 2, I have a rectangle that's been divided into 5 pieces. 1 piece has been shaded, so that's 1/5. My sentence will read 1/5 is less than whatever fraction I draw on the right. So I have to start with the same whole again. And I need to make these pieces greater than 1/5 to make my statement true. 1/5 has to be less than whatever fraction I show on this rectangle. If I choose a denominator that's less than 5, I know my pieces will be bigger than the fifths. So I'm going to show 1/2 on this rectangle. I'll divide it in 2, shade in 1/2, and now I have a true statement. 1/5 is less than 1/2. In my last picture, I have a rectangle that's been divided into 10 equal pieces. 1 piece has been shaded, so that's 1/10, and I need to show a fraction on the other side so that my statement reads 1/10 is greater than whatever fraction I choose. Well, I know in order to have 1/10 be greater than this fraction, I need a denominator that's greater than 1/10. That will give me a smaller piece. So I'm going to divide this into 12ths. So I'll start by dividing it into 6 pieces and then cut that in half. That will give me my 12 pieces, and I'll shade in 1 piece. So 1/10 is greater than 1/12. My last question says Robert ate 1/2 of a small pizza. Elizabeth ate 1/4 of a large pizza. Elizabeth says, my piece was bigger than yours, so that means 1/4 is greater than 1/2. Is Elizabeth correct? And we need to explain our answer. Well, you can see the drawings here. We have a small pizza divided into 1/2, and we have a large pizza divided into 1/4. The 4th piece that Elizabeth ate is bigger than the half piece that Robert ate. But that does not mean 1/4 is greater than 1/2. Her whole pizza was much larger to begin with, so 1/4 of a large pizza could be bigger than 1/2 of a small pizza. So her logic here that 1/4 is greater than 1/2 is incorrect. So I'll explain that answer in a statement. And here's my answer. Elizabeth is incorrect. Since her whole pizza is larger than Robert's, you cannot compare her 1/4 to his 1/2. You need to start with the same whole.